guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at one of my special filming spot locations because guess what? We have that performance luxury sedan from Genesis that might be disappearing. This vehicle right here, this is a 2024 Genesis G70. This particular one is the top prestige trim. But before we get into this twin turbocharged rear wheel drive performance sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. So yes, you heard correctly. From what Genesis is saying, they are getting ready to kill off the G70. And to me, that's a bit of a heartbreaker because the G80 is just a little on the too large side. And I felt like this was definitely good competition for those German Euro brands. Now with this being a twin turbocharged rear wheel drive platform, I think one of the main competitors that we can compare it to is that Mercedes AMG C63. So what I want to find out is, if you want to get yourself a luxury sports sedan, is this the better way to go over the AMG? And is it now or never to buy one because they may be gone after model year 2024? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this electric blue G70 and find out. Right off the bat, the proportions. I've always liked the overall size. This does sit on the same platform of another vehicle that is no longer in existence. That was the Kia Stinger GT. Now at the front end of the business, you're gonna notice that double stacked, double stuffed headlight design, projector beam LED headlight, turn signals, and daytime running lamps. We do have some functionality to the lower air intake vent, some air curtain there. And then as we come across the ginormous grille, this is like the only brand that has gotten the ginormous grille done right. You do have a forward-facing camera because this is the top trim. I like the black chrome finish. I gotta zonk this where they hide all of the radar and sensing technology. That just looks a little dated. But definitely the dark chrome trim. And then on the bottom, you are gonna get full functionality because of that large intercooler that's peeking from behind. I think the one extra thing I would have liked to have seen is just a little bit of a lower lip spoiler, just to give it a little extra sporty look, but also help with the aerodynamics as well. But overall, like I said, they get the award for going the largest on the grille, and it actually looks good. Now, as we rise up, you got that Genesis badge, and I love the way they kind of set it down in the front fascia, and then the body lines flow off the wingtips. And then really where it gets good is when they curve. They just take a sharp curve right to the edge of the hood and just disappear. I like that style. Now when we come around the bend, we do have new wheels and something else I want to point out for 2024. So these are the new style wheels. Not my favorite, machined aluminum gunmetal gray. I think I would have preferred an all blacked out wheel, but you do get standard Brembo calipers now. These are no longer an option, standard on all the trims. 19-inch wheel wrapped with these Pilot Sport 4 tires. So you're gonna get some pretty good grip out of them. And then you do get, of course, nice large brakes, the rotors, and the adaptive suspension all four corners, which is nice on the Prestige trim as well. Now coming down the side of the vehicle, you do have a functional fender vent, and I'll have Steven kind of swing around and show you that fender vent. Mirror caps look good because they are color matched. I just don't like this older style turn signal, but I do like the dark chrome and how it just flows off of the door. Up top, we do have a, I wouldn't call it a panoramic sunroof. I call it a sunroof plus because it's like a little standard sunroof, but you get a little extra room. I would have liked to have seen the whole roof painted black. To me, when they don't do that, it just looks unfinished. So zonk on not painting the back portion black, but I do like the dark chrome, top and bottom, and you do have color matched on the door handles, and your side skirt extension is also color matched. Now at back, you are still gonna get the Brembo calipers. They don't go cheap on the rear calipers. You'd be surprised on the Mercedes AMG what's on the back rotors. Not Brembos, that's for sure. And then as you spin it around backside, what in the hell is going on here? Why did they do this? I don't even know why. Why would you even need a vent there? It's not a vent though, it's fake. But I do have to say, I love the taillights just like the headlights. You got a simple 3.3T badge, which tells you that's the V6 twin turbo. And the trunk does have a kick up to it. Just like the addition of a splitter, I would like something on the trunk as well, just to give it a little bit extra sporty look, but also, of course, a little bit more downforce. Genesis name spelled out nicely, the G70 badge. And then going all the way to the ground level, you have those decorative stainless steel trim rings with functional exhaust. It's actually a quad tip exhaust, believe it or not. The two sides, two on one side, two on the other. And I'm digging that color match, body color match, rear diffuser. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and check out the heart of this G70. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. I like the aluminum bracing that they have to stiffen up the front end of the vehicle off of the shock top mounts. You do have a semi-tasteful engine cover with the word turbo, because this is a turbocharged engine. It's actually, it should say twin turbo, not just turbo. But you're looking at a 3.3 liter twin turbocharged V6, 365 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds, top speed 160 miles per hour, and the vehicle weighs 4,050 pounds. MPGs, 18 in the city, 26 on the highway. If you compare this to an AMG C63, that vehicle has actually more horsepower, but guess what? 0 to 60 is not as quick. So 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, if you could believe that. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and fire this up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Genesis G70 Sport Prestige. This is the top trim, and I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking for a luxury performance sedan. I need the back seats, I need the back doors, because guess what? I have kids, and that's where I need to put them. But I'm liking this Genesis. How much is it? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right at $55,000. Let's see how it stacks up to the AMG, to the door panels. Love the two-tone. You got the silver aluminum trim. Look at the Lexicon premium sound system speaker cover there. And then that diamond stitching is on needlepoint, soft touch leather. Door pocket is good enough for a, I would say, 2 Einstein bagels and a schmear and a nice bottle of OJ to wash it down. Going from the door panel to the dash, more aluminum trim, nice stitching, smooth touch. And then what do we have here? We have a 10.25-inch infotainment system screen with all of the easy access icons. You should be all about the easy access. I know that I am. And then, of course, we're right back where we started, our start-stop button. We have toggle switches for the audio controls, dual climate, 3 stages of ventilated seats, and 3 stages of heated seats. Down below, you got wireless charging, a 12-volt, a USB-A, and a USB-C. This is going to control your 6-speed automatic transmission, 8-speed, 6 plus 2, 8-speed automatic transmission, 2 cup holders, drive mode selector knob. Here is your Genesis key fob. It almost looks like a Fabergé egg that somebody stepped on, but it's got the buttons and the switch gear. Nice leather style material. Open it up, USB-C, and you got enough room in here for, guess what, 2 platinum iPhone 47s. I love the leather seats, nice soft material. These are the chauffeur seats, so I could actually control it from the side of the passenger seat. And then we do have full electric assist. Easy to get to, love the stitching, all the pipe work, looks great. Alcantara, as soft as your girlfriend's pussycat, nice and soft. And then of course you have that standard size sunroof. Should be panoramic by now. It's model year 2024. But why don't you get your butt over here at the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Genesis. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, which are nice for the driver's side. And I do like the aluminum sill plate. I just wish it would light up at night. That's all. Pedal box right out of a race car, aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Seat controls are easy to get to. And what I like about it is that you have plenty of room up front. It's going to be a little bit of a different story for the backseat passengers, but what do I care? I'm not sitting in the back seat, and you shouldn't be either. You should be driving this. Now, steering wheel, love the 2-piece leather. The stitching, you see how nice it looks when you put the leather and the stitching on the horn button? flat black on the switchgear. You have paddles to go up and down, that 8-speed automatic, and it is electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you should have, at this price point, a full digital gauge cluster, but it's only half digital, half analog. And the worst part is that the tachometer is reverse operating. It's counterclockwise, not clockwise. I think I just spit on Steven's hand by accident. Sorry, Steven, but you know, I salivate over these car reviews. But you have the digital display in the center and a head-up display, which is nice as well. But all the appointments feel spot on the money. Let's get in that back seat so I can show you how it's a little tight back there for taller people. Let's get back there. All right, guys, back seat time. And this is probably one of the reasons why Genesis wants to get rid of the G70 is it's just tight back here. But to be honest with you, the AMG C63 is nothing to write home about. When you go with a little bit smaller sedan, go figure, it's a little bit smaller on the inside, but I guess people were hoping for a little bit more room. You got the pesky cargo nets. You could keep a couple magazines back there, maybe a Nintendo Power, maybe a Cosmopolitan or something, Cosmo. I don't like how high the tunnel is for the drive shaft. Very, very high tunnel. I'm surprised it's that high. 2 USB-Cs and AC vents, which are nice. But the appointments back here, I mean, all the leather and the soft touch is fantastic. Pull this down. It's really crammed in there. Semi-soft, 2 cup holders with a nice little decorative trim ring around it. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the trunk and see if there's any room for your junk in this Genesis. All right, guys, trunk space time. What's nice is that you actually have the hidden button. You're just gonna hit. Look at that, nice electric assist on the Prestige trim. And what you're gonna find is a decent amount of room. I mean, it's not a ton, but compared to the AMG C43, it's about the same. You're looking at 10.3 cubic feet, well, I should say 11. If you do the math, technically it's 11 cubic feet of space. So nice to see that room. We have the official Genesis cargo net that's gonna hold down your watermelons, your eggplants, your squash. And then you have the required Genesis track holder for your Twinkies. So nice to see that, but why don't we go ahead, you push the button, nice electric assist. If you're ready, I'm ready. We got rear wheel drive power. We got a twin turbocharged engine. Let's go on throttle and see how she drives. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Genesis G70 Sport Prestige. Right away, I love the athletic feel that this vehicle brings, especially, you know, right now we have it in comfort mode, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna twist the mode selector knob and it actually shows you on the infotainment and displays in the center gauge cluster as well what mode you're in. We're gonna go full Sport Plus. And one thing I hope that you could see in the video angle is when you're in comfort, right now we're cruising, we're doing about 1200 RPM, cruising the speed limit down this road. If I go to Sport, now it's at 2500 RPM, and you'll also notice that the bolstering on the driver's seat will actually come in a little bit to hold you in place. And then of course we have Sport Plus, which now shuts the traction control off and brings the revs up as well, closer to 3,000. So the reason why that happens is that when you go into the different modes, it's going to change not only the sensitivity of the steering, not only throttle sensitivity, but it's also going to change how the engine and the transmission, the 8-speed automatic, behaves with one another. Sport Plus was recently added just a couple years ago, and it really is that much of a difference over Sport. If you've driven a G70 and it just had Sport, and then you get behind the wheel of this one and you go into Sport Plus, you're gonna feel the difference. Going down the road, of course, easy to get to that nice large infotainment system screen. It's not even in the way. I like the way you got the slight bulges from that V-shaped indentation that I showed you on the hood. Clear head-up display, and just all the finishes in here. The leather on the wheel, the nice stitching on the horn button. The way everything is laid out in here is really well done. Now you are gonna get some pumped in sounds, especially in Sport Plus mode, but to be honest with you, they're actually not that intrusive or too over the top, which is good. But let's go ahead and go on throttle and see how this goes. On throttle, here we go. Swing out the back a little bit, we're good. Very controllable. Nice, smooth, fast, deliberate shifts when you're in that Sport Plus mode. And I just like the way the back of the car becomes very, very playful. But yet it's still manageable. It's not like you're gonna loop it and do a 360 unless you want to. I mean, that's the key. We do have those beautiful blind spot cameras, which are just, it's gold. It really is gold with the Genesis and the Hyundai vehicles. The one zonk, obviously, that continues is only having half the display be digital and the other half analog. I'd rather have 2 analog gauges and a digital display in the center rather than this setup. And I despise counterclockwise tachometers. It just, when you're so used to all the tachs being clockwise and then you get behind the wheel one of these, it just throws you off. It's something that eventually you'll get used to, duh, but still just a little bit of a hurdle when you're first getting your on throttle experience in this vehicle. I do like the way the AC controls, you just have that nice, and it's got a haptic kickback on it. Plus you got your ventilated seats, which is phenomenal. Wireless charging, like I pointed out. Very comfortable, especially for the front seat passengers. Rear seat passengers, it's a little bit of a squeeze play, but like I said, I think that you being behind the wheel, you're gonna enjoy this experience. Especially when you look at the price point compared to the competition and the performance that you're getting. I mean, standard Brembo brakes on all the trims for 2024, which is really nice. All right, guys, pulling away from the light. I really like the throttle sensitivity, good steering sensitivity. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. 8-speed drops down and we are off and running. Smooth shifts. Getting on the Brembos. Shedding some of that speed, and we're gonna see how she handles into this right hand bend. Look at that, nice downshifts. On throttle. So what's great is that when you go on throttle coming out of a corner, you're able to actually get the rear end to move around a little bit to help you square off the corner. And that's gonna allow you to have a quicker exit and just have a more engaging drive. Another thing that I like is when you're on the brakes and the vehicle is doing the downshifts, it's almost like it blips the throttle to keep the chassis stable. And that's another nice piece of engineering and technology that they have in this Genesis G70. All right, guys, on throttle, here we go. On the brakes, feeling good, nice and balanced. Yeah! So playful this G70 is. And like I said, the sound that's getting pumped in, it's not too intrusive and it kind of just helps the driving experience. Brakes feel freaking great, as they should. Look at this. On throttle. Nice. I like the weight of the steering. Watch this when we go into this right-hand bend. Just very controllable, very balanced, very light on its feet. And that's why it's a shame that they're gonna probably be getting rid of the G70. I actually enjoy driving this much more than the AMG C63. It's just, I don't know, it's more responsive. I like the rear-wheel drive setup on it, of course. And then you're getting a good balance of some actual engine sound, and then some of that pumped-in sound. But out of the competition, the Mercedes and definitely the BMW, this has the better pumped-in sound through the speakers. That's for sure. It's just some of the things where it's falling short is obviously that dash. I do like the way, though, you could bring up your cameras very easily. That, to me, is a nice extra feature to just have 1, 2, 3. You hit the button, and then you're good to go to help you park, to see if somebody's too close to you or you too close to somebody. And you got nice clear resolution as well. So that's another added benefit. But, you know, I would prefer, like I said, the full-size digital gauge cluster. The material on the tops of the door panels are not as nice as the leather, so I would like to see that upgraded. And maybe some leather on the dash. But other than that, I mean, everything else in here is so well laid out. No gloss black, which is freaking refreshing and fantastic to feel in today's day and age, because it seems that everybody and their mother just dumps a bucket of gloss black on the interior. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and use the paddle. So you have a small gear indicator in the upper left-hand corner. It tells me I'm in second gear. I'm going to drop it down to first. On throttle. Here we go. Just got to watch that tack. It's going the other direction. Nice quick shifts with the paddles, especially on the downshifts. Watch this. Third gear. Second gear. Yeah! Woo! I love throwing the rear end out on this car. It's so freaking much fun. It really is. But I think it's gonna really open your mind. If you have not been in one of these Genesis vehicles, it's gonna open your mind to what they are bringing for the price point. I mean, that's the bottom line here. And then, of course, you want to go back to just driving quote-unquote normal, you have that capability. You're able to be in an environment where the sound deadening material is nice, the shifts, you could go into comfort mode and that's going to chill everything out. So there's custom, which you could tune exactly the way you want, or we could just go into custom mode. And then you're nice and chill for that perfect daily driving experience. All right, guys, I guess the last test of this Genesis G70 is to get it out on the highway and see how she drives down the road. Like I said, these blind spot cameras are worth their weight in gold. When you're in comfort mode, it softens everything up and also cuts down on the pumped in sound just enough to where you're not going to get a headache. But getting out onto the highway here, it's very, very smooth. Look at this. Gliding over the bumps and everything. You got your head-up display, and this is going to allow you to do a lot of mileage and be comfortable wrapped in luxury, and you're not breaking the bank, which is the best part of this vehicle. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the Genesis G70 is all about, especially this sport prestige trim. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been an adventurous day, lots of excitement, the energy, people just wanna be around us like honey on a honeybee. But let me know what you think. We got to thank everybody at Genesis USA for getting us access to this G70. Is it the one that you would get over an AMG C63? I'm curious to see what you have to say down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, we need to thank the man behind the lens. Even though he's a little antsy and a little nervous sometimes, Steven holds the hand steady and makes that camera image look so beautiful. It's like you just want to hug it and kiss it. That's how good of an image it is. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Steven, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.